these things aren't definitive because we're people. We have free will. We're people. We can do whatever the hell we want. Now, I do think we set paths for ourselves before we're born of what we want to do and the direction we want to go, but nothing is set in stone. We're
Right.
here to live a life, and it's not dictated by.
So does that mean we choose when we're born?
Mhm.
So why would people choose to be born during like the Black Plague?
To
Or
learn
like
very
in
specific lessons to
Africa.
to learn specific lessons to go along with it, because
Yeah, you can extrapolate that out.
so this is going into a whole nother.
This is
whole
bringing
nother topic.
spirituality into astrology.
Because
with
to me,
her-
astrology is very spiritual.
Sure.
So yes, your soul, you are a soul in a human body. I think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So you have a soul that I think is probably lives for eternity.
Beyond
I
time.
guess I don't
Yeah.
know. Has always lived forever. Will always be forever. I don't know. Whatever. And yeah, you live multiple lifetimes. I firmly believe that.
and then you will learn different lessons each
So,
time.
and your soul is constantly learning and growing and coming back into a life, incarnating, which is the idea of reincarnation. So you are incarnating to learn lessons. Some are easy lessons, some are hard lessons.
So like, say an aborted fetus, right? Like the soul that's going into the aborted fetus already knows it's going to be aborted before
Yeah.
it goes in there.
It could be for it.
So
Mhm.
what's the lesson?
I don't know. I'm not in that situation. The lesson could
Wrong
be for the
vessel.
mom or for the
Wrong
dad.
vessel.
Wrong vessel.
It could. I mean, I don't know. That could be a possibility. It could be that, yeah, maybe they decided they needed to make some changes quickly, or it could have been a lesson for one of the parents too, because
Oh.
I think that
Because I guess if your soul just goes back out and then back in again, I don't know. Could have been used as a lesson for the parent.
That's the
soul.
strange thing about mortality, though, right? Because if your soul learns a lesson, then the lesson it should learn is that it never goes away. So why do we still fear mortality?
say that once more.
If your soul continues going on,
Yeah,
right, and it has been since the beginning of time, which population is kind of weird because if the population keeps rising, there needs to be more souls,
Right.
Unless you believe there's souls in every creature and there's some finite amount of
Then you could get
creatures
into
that have always been
well,
around.
you don't necessarily
could get
know
into
like how many
ghosts and all
souls are
that.
currently
Yeah, I know,
incarnated
but
and
that
how
would
many are still.
yeah, but that would
not.
mean that there's souls just kind of chilling who
ghosts.
don't need to learn any lessons.
Ghosts,
But-
paranormal stuff.
No, it's
I
not.
don't know.
I don't think it's that they have to not learn any lessons. It's more that maybe they're
Content.
planning their next lesson. I think
That's the
'cause
unknown that we don't know.
But
our
my God.
perception of time is
Hypothesizing.
quite different
Yeah, at
than
this point.
probably
Right.
when you're not.
back to my original point.
Yeah.
As far as if you've lived many lifetimes, then why do people still fear mortality?
You don't remember any of that. You don't currently know of any of that, do you?
Then
You don't currently.
Then how
think
do you
that
then how do you
personally.
learn the lessons? What are the lessons for if you don't know anything that's happened?
So
I
right,
guess.
right now, do you have any conscious memory of being a soul that planned to live the life that you're living right now?
No.
So
course
then, okay.
Right.
So then you wouldn't have that non-existing fear of mortality and knowing that you'll just come back and that you're doing it for the right reasons because you're not thinking about that part of it.
But then what's the soul's purpose?
Maybe
so
learn
it's.
you're
lessons
gonna come
if
here and you're
I
gonna learn a
don't-
bunch of
Dang, it's my
lessons,
podcast.
and then
I said, God dang it, it's my podcast. No, I was just gonna say maybe it's that when you come back you've learned lessons subconsciously, so like you know not to do crack cocaine this time around. You know what I mean? Maybe that destroyed your life in a previous life, and you're just like dead set. You know, you just kind of grow up like I'm not gonna do drugs or something.
But
That's just kind of how
Or-
your
yeah,
life.
it just-
You know,
I guess
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
be an issue,
I'm just throwing
but-
shit at the wall here, but like.
well, that's what all of. I mean, any sort of spiritual belief is just throwing shit at the wall because nobody has proof of any of it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, any
Yeah.
sort of belief or spirituality or religion or whatever you want to call it. I mean, there isn't
It
Right.
just throws
There's
my
not
mind into a
concrete
warp.
proof, right?
but there's still like
So you don't really
right, you
know.
can still ask questions and challenge the mind,
Mhm.
which is what I like
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Which is
for
like
sure.
why, like doing crack cocaine, your soul could just chill out until scientists learn
yeah.
that crack cocaine is bad and they stop putting coke into Coca-Cola, right? Like,
you know,
it doesn't have to go, like you didn't have to go to the 1800 industrial age and work in a coal mine, right? Like
Right.
you could just wait until you could get into a body that's going to get a cushy job, right? And like do this.
Right.
Or you could be just
But
be
that's
like,
where it goes into the planning of the lessons that you're going to learn, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would
'Cause you gotta
imagine
learn
there's
all
more.
these-
I would
have
imagine
you
there's
ever
a lot.
wanted to learn a lesson by doing coke?
Fuck no.
I
but
mean,
maybe.
that's-
Maybe I was
that's-
like, I'm going to party this time.
That's the thing. Like if you can make one of these and you can make multiple, right? You can choose which sign you are every single life.
I
Yeah.
guess if you're choosing your time, yeah.
So
Yep.
so why wouldn't you just choose the most affluential? Like what's it to the soul to learn a lesson that causes grief?
You
Right.
can learn a lot in hard lessons. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
what's
we've
the,
all had
what's the
hard lessons
point?
in our
What's
life.
the point?
I guess to
right?
learn. I don't know.
to learn, because when things are easy, you can't. When things are just easy and you just go along, you're not learning a whole lot in that.
Yeah, but that's
You
not
have to struggle
my
a little
point.
bit. I guess I'm totally
my point.
missing
My
your
point is, why does the soul need to learn a lesson? A
yeah, it's
spiritual
hard. That's a
being
hard
beyond
question to
time,
answer. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
right? It doesn't need to choose to go
I
into
just-
a human.
because
Right.
I
Right.
believe that's what our souls are there for, is to learn and to.
Yeah, like why do I want to be a goat this time? Like and eat grass.
Right.
I don't necessarily know if we come back as like,
Well, some
go, I
some
don't know, maybe
reincarnation
we
people
could.
think you do. You
Well,
go
maybe.
into a chicken. You know,
I
I mean,
was telling him on the way over, like, what if you die and your soul, because is some recyclable energy or whatever people refer to it as, what if because space is infinite, assigned your quadrant of infinity and you can be the thing, the god,
of something else.
you
Oh,
rule
wow.
over.
'Cause
It's
we
the
don't know
Part
how
of
big it
empty
is.
Space,
There
and you
are
get to create your own
billions.
Big Bang and
Whoa, that's
watch the universe form in your own quadrant and
There it
life
see
or
That's
not,
crazy.
that's your creation, and
see. I thought I said the other
be at
day.
peace.
I was talking. What's his name? Zach. And I said, I had a crazy thought of what if, the afterlife is more of like what if religion is here for you to worship and stuff, to create a mindset and almost create something inside of your head or your soul or your mind or whatever that
that you
like you
experience.
create it.
that's you create it yourself. So if you think heaven is streets of gold and you're gonna meet your grandparents and everybody there at the gates, like, so then when
Then
you
that's
die,
exactly
that's
what
exactly
happens.
what happens.
When your
To
brain
where if you
releases that
think I had a
chemical.
shit life and I'm going to hell anyways, I'm gonna burn for eternity, that's what you fucking do. Or if
Very
you
well
think
could be.
hell is more like a different earth where everything's terrible, then maybe you just end up there. I don't know. Or if you think you're doomed to be a ghost, like, I'm gonna haunt this bitch.
We
Like,
ta-
maybe that's what the fuck you do. Maybe.
We talked about
Maybe.
that on the way here too. The act of being a ghost. You're this crazy spirit who can go through walls. You're unaffected by gravity or anything, and you
Or
choose to
time.
haunt the carpet that your cat peed on. that
Right,
You've
yeah.
been pissed about for 30 years, and it's like, and now you're just knocking stuff over because you're angry, and the new residents are like, "What's going on?" Like,
Right, but
You
I'd,
just
I'd
That
say
makes me
that-
want to know why.
you have
Why
the
are they stuck to that?
cosmos.
but why are
So
most
there must-
ghost stories are like an old person or something. A lot of them end up being like older people, like they just, that's their home, like, that's where
Boomers.
that's my chair.
They're just angry all the time.
Yeah, and that's why they say they get angry once you start remodeling the house, and all of a sudden the spirits act up. You know what I mean? So like,
Shit
who the
alone.
fuck, you know?
I
It's
can,
I don't
just-
know.
I
it's
can
just-
imagine living at Uncle John's
Yeah.
like long after he's gone or something, and
Yeah.
I
And then
do
the-
something, and then you feel like that ominous presence, like he caught you doing some bullshit.
It's just so weird to feel like you would limit yourself so much by sticking to a single point. in
But
space.
before you go to the body, you reincarnated, then your soul knows that you're gonna be going back, right? So instead of choosing all these lessons, I guess, hypothesizing like we all
Right,
are,
yeah.
but maybe you choose this set of lessons And then when you go, you obviously don't realize that there's this big plan, and you're gonna go back, and your soul's gonna come back.
It almost sounds like multiverse theory.
Right. Yeah,
Like-
simulation type shit. There's
like-
an actual another guy controlling all the stuff for us.
There's a version of me out there who's a porn star. There's a version of me out there who is like,
really into astrology.
I mean, you have to consider them possibilities. Like, really,
Yeah.
you're limited by your imagination.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could be in
Yar.
one of
Yar.
someone else's imagination.
Yeah, that's simulation theory is crazy. It's
Too
crazy.
much.
It's crazy theory. It's too much to think about. It is.
Like, maybe double the beers and I'll be there, but I don't think we got that sort of time to go into that depth.
That is depth. It's girthy. Okay, so are we
think it's
gonna run
all-
through the rest of these?
We're not gonna get through all of them, but
Well, we can. You don't
Okay.
have to be. You know, we can.
we
get the
lost
point
our
across. Oh, John, bring
lost
that
my
back up.
copy. What are you doing over there, John?
Smoking a joint,
Oh
Thinking.
yeah, I was gonna do that.
Think.
thinking.
All right.